Welcome to Geeks 4x4 and welcome to the weekly live chat. Today and every Wednesday, we talk about Ford Excursion stuff live on the tubes. And today is no different because it is a Wednesday and we are back live. So I am just getting finished setting up here. I am a little bit late. I typically am at 4 o'clock. But today, other things perspired, and it didn't happen. And now I'm here, though. I'm going to have a guest on later, so that's pretty fun. As of right now, we're just going to talk and uh, hang out with you guys live for Excursion Chat Wednesdays. You put up a thing, all of this stuff, man. What's that? A copy link. No, pinned live. How come I can't do? I don't know anything about this. Every week I try and learn something new. And so you're watching me right now try and play with all the settings. and oh, yeah, getting all the fun stuff. Retouch. I guess I can't put up the excursion chat banner. So that's a bummer. But I got to head over to Instagram and put a link up that. Welcome to Geeks 4x4 live from July 2nd. Today we have got a guest coming on a little bit. So that will be a first. I've never done a guest. Uh, you can guess who that is in the comments if you want. I don't know if any of you will guess it, but you know, more than welcome to. Uh, Other than that, we're just in here live talking about Ford Excursions, the largest and maybe the greatest SUV ever made in my book. It is the greatest SUV ever made. Uh, if it's not in your book and you're a suburban guy, then I'm glad you're here anyway. It's okay. We're okay to have all people in one place. I think it's great. I'm working on getting my phone plugged in because this way your live thing really drains the battery. Lynn, how are you doing today? Yeah, if you guys could hit that like button and help this thing get pushed out to people, that would be awesome. As of right now, I'm just sitting here. I've got somebody coming on in a little bit. We can talk Ford Excursions. So if you have anything you would like to ask about Ford Excursions, uh, or anything like of that, uh, you are welcome to ask it. Just double checking that can do the thing. What's up, Ismail? How are you doing? Glad to have you in here. The other side, DN. Very random, but okay. Uh, Glad to have all of you in here. Would like some thumbs up if we can get those thumbs up going. We've got quite a few people in here. We are just going to talk about Ford Excursion stuff. So, Ford Excursions, I'm so good, man. Ford Excursions are the largest SUV ever made. Ford made them from 2000 to 2005, and they came with. That's the super chat here. How many different engines did they come with? See if we've got anybody on here that knows their Ford Excursions. So, yeah, we have somebody from Pakistan. So that's the first answer is the person is from Pakistan. That's great, Ismail. I'm from the United States, not Pakistan. That's for sure. So yeah, we're just in here waiting for folks to come and chat about Ford excursions. Do you have excursions in Pakistan, Ismail? That would actually be awesome. I have not seen anything photo wise. Did we, Keanu Reeves? It's weird because I haven't been to a barn ever. So I think he probably found somebody else. Ryan, that depends on which excursion you're talking about. This one behind me is a V10 gasser. The one over there is a V8 diesel. I have two, and yeah, they're both great. Oh, that's all right, Ryan. I'm glad to have you here. Either anyway, yeah. So I'm just like the excursion guy. So you found the Ford Excursion YouTube channel, which is a what you were close. V8 and diesel. So you actually know enough. That's awesome, Ismail. Um, so yeah, Ryan, like you know enough about it that you know what a V8 is, you know what a diesel is. So I think you're doing pretty well. So you should feel good about that. But you're welcome to ask any other questions. Like I said, I'm kind of the Ford excursion guy on the old interwebs, and I have a couple of them I fixed up. This one I bobbed. I took 12 inches off the back of it and made the departure angle better for off-roading. So, Sid, you have an excursion, man? I love excursions too. So I definitely agree with you that excursions are the best. I cannot think of another vehicle I would rather have. And yeah, they just work, man. They just have the ability to do just about anything. Hey guys, we have like a ton of people in here and no thumbs up. So we got to get this thing going on here. We need a couple of thumbs up here for me to answer to keep talking here because we got none. Sid, that's rad. Thanks for one thumbs up. Thank you for that one. We would like to get a couple of more. Let's get these thumbs up going, guys. I appreciate it. Kurt, how are you doing? Um, Emish, thank you, man. Give him the thumbs up. Would love that. Ryan, I got into excursions. So my grandpa was a long-term GM guy, and General Motors. Uh, He bought a Suburban in the 1990s, and he put three transmissions in it before it hit 100,000 miles, and got mad at General Motors because you should not have to put three transmissions in a vehicle before 100,000 miles. And so he started buying Excursions. And in 2001, he bought an Excursion, and that is the Excursion I have to this day. It's been passed through my whole family pretty much. It has 348,000 miles and will outlive your LB7 all day long. But that is a good motor. Sid, I've got a 2000 and a 2001, but Ford built the Excursion from 2000 to 2005. So my 2000 is this one behind me. It's been bobbed. So it's an off road truck. It's got 40s on it, very little lift, and a V10. And then my other one, if you go on the channel, you'll see both these trucks in my shorts and in long form videos, all the stuff. And my 2001 is not stock, but not super far from it. I wouldn't say. Um, it is. There's a 7.3 going by right now. You hear it? Yeah, Born Legendary. It is a dang good motor, and I love it. So my 2001 is a 7.3. We've owned since new. It has 347,000 miles on it. So, yeah, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It is an excellent vehicle. So, I'll keep putting lots of love into it, lots of way too much money probably into it. And it's going to be great. Thanks, Sid. Yeah, it kind of does have the old Bronco look with that rear overhang. So yeah, that's great, Born Legendary. There's not very many of those that have that many miles on them. So good on you, man. You have you've taken care of that thing, obviously. So good job. How many injectors have you run through it? Those are the ones that ate the injectors, I think, weren't they? But I don't know. They're all great, right? I mean, if you take care of them, you can you can have some really good luck with even motors that people think, yeah, 3 sets of injectors. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Ismail, we're not going to talk about that. This is the Ford Excursion stuff. So, yeah. No Kulonga. No, I don't like fishing. It's really boring. Sorry. Not for me. Well, that's doing good, Born Legendary. My wife is rolling the trash can by the open garage doors. So, um, oh no, I understand just fine, Ishmael, but I am not here to talk about anything with that. So I am here to talk about Ford Excursions, and uh, and that's it. So I don't really want to talk about politics. That's not in my space of the internet. So if you want to talk about that, go find somebody else. Gordon, how are you doing, my friend? Uh, Scotland in the house, guys. That is pretty awesome. Uh, Digger Nick, how are you, man? You've been on before. I recognize that name. Uh, Comment down. No, Digger Nick. Let's not talk about belly button lint. Say we did. Born Legendary. No, actually, well, I don't know. The kit we put in it, we thought that there was, but there's like no. The records are gone, and I don't know, and I have not had the turbo off of it. So, it's a Garrett housing, so it's a factory housing, so it might have a different wheel on it. I don't really know. Um, so yeah. Well, thank you, Gordon, for coming and sharing a little bit of your relaxation time with just a random YouTuber dude. I appreciate that, man. That's really nice. That feels good. We're working on the likes here. The likes are really low. We need to get those likes up. So keep hitting that thumbs up button, guys, and let's keep this growing. We need to get some people in here, and like I said, I've got a guest coming on later, and so we're gonna talk excursions with a guest. So that'll be kind of fun. Kind of podcast. I don't know. I've never been live with anybody, so if you want to see me terribly mess it up, you should definitely stick around. That would be awesome. Um, and yeah, Born Legendary. Yeah, man, it's legendary, as they'd say. Uh, Huntron, I don't have any cats, and I don't want any cats. Thank you very much. All right, Sid, have a good one. Ishmael, there it is, right there. It's right here. That's Bob. That is the Bobbed Excursion. Yeah, Huntron. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. Not gonna sugarcoat it around here. I mean, I'll still take the sub for being honest, but I have no idea. It is an excursion, Timothy. It is indeed. Thanks, Huntron. Have a great night, man. Appreciate you swinging by, even if it's just for the thumbs up. Hopefully, you gave a thumbs up. Watching you. So yeah, we're just hanging out. Your dad has one. What year is your dad's, Timothy or Tim? All right, we got a guest coming on, guys. This is Project XJ is going to come in here. I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't know what all this is going to be. Project XJ is going to come in here.
Yeah, can you hear me? I don't know.
I have you, man. Project XJ is going to come in here.
Yeah, can you hear me? I don't know.
I have you, man. It is like super delayed.
All right, cool.
Project XJ is going to come in here. And I keep hearing the same stuff over and over. It is like super delayed.
Right, cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting.
I see that.
Come in here. And I keep hearing the same stuff over and over. It is like super delayed.
Okay,
That's
maybe
awesome.
we'll do this. put this guy up.
Timothy, that's great. 03, what engine is in it? So, guys, this is Caleb. Am I saying it right? I didn't ask you this on the phone.
Yeah, no, my name's Caleb.
Great. So this is Caleb. Caleb is Project XJ on the YouTubes. If you have not heard of him, he has got a super nice XJ that is like really tastefully built. And then he's also building a Amigo right now. And then he just bought an Excursion, and you can see a little grill in the background there of a little Ford Excursion. It's actually a big Ford Excursion. I have a little Ford Excursion, but
Because you're the Bob.
yeah, you got the real size Ford Excursion. My friends call it the long Excursion. So
Yeah, so we could do a walk around of it later if we want, or
yeah,
take a look inside.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Timothy, that is awesome, man. Yeah. So Caleb, tell me about how you what's your XJ story? Let's start with the XJ story because Caleb is an XJ guy, and Timothy says ZJ is better. Immediately in the comments, a ZJ guy
Oh,
is in here.
yes. That hurts
Yeah.
my heart.
Yeah, that's rough. The internet is rough, man. People are just brutal. So let's hear the XJ story.
Yeah, so my brother in high school got an XJ, and it was a green 97 with a tan interior, 4-wheel drive. And I mean, we just took that thing everywhere, and we were surprised by how well it did off road and even on road. Like, my brother drove crazy, and the XJ kept him safe.
That's
And
great.
so when I bought my first car, it was a 94 two-door XJ.
The coupe.
And I had that for like 5 years or so. And then I started having kids. And so I got a 4-door XJ. And I got this one in 2012. And as a graduation gift to myself, I convinced my wife to let me put a lift kit and tires on a interest-free credit card. Probably not the
Nice.
best idea. But then I just started slowly building it, and I like became my own mechanic because I couldn't afford to pay a mechanic to work on it. So everything I've done to this, I've done myself or with the help of a friend, and it's a lot of fun. I think it's a good vehicle, and so I started my YouTube channel to just kind of help people who have an XJ, help them work on it themselves. And that's about it. But now I have an Excursion. I've wanted one for like 10 years. I just could never afford one.
Well, as they pull the trash can back, I'm sure that sounds really good in the background. Yeah. Timothy, those are not Mickey Thompsons. Those are the Cooper STT Pros on my truck. So let's is it easy to like grab are you on your phone with the live thing? Yeah, so it's easy to grab your phone and walk around the XJ?
Yeah.
Because I haven't like looked super close at it, and it's only in pictures, which is this is still a picture. So the good stuff. But he's like a YouTuber, so he has a tripod and like all that stuff because he's a YouTuber. He's YouTube famous.
That's right.
So
yeah, here's the front. I just got a winch not too long ago. I did these hood vents up here because I have heat soak issues.
That's
I have 35-inch tires.
with heat choke issues.
Got the long arm lift. I built these rock sliders.
Yeah, they look sweet.
Have a Ford 8.8 rear end. But the interior is pretty clean.
Holy smokes, it is. It looks really nice. The headliner
I still have most of my headliner.
I was gonna say the headliner is not sagged out.
just on those rear speakers.
That's fine. Who needs them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got 139,000 miles.
Oh wow. So you're like
try to keep it clean with my floor mats.
Yeah, you're like actually. What's up, Mullet? How you doing? We are
keep all my tools and stuff in the back.
Nice. So Mullet, we are live with Project XJ. He has another YouTube channel that he does XJ stuff on, and he's walking around his XJ right now. He also has an Excursion. So we're gonna get to that too. So, uh, but this XJ is sweet. You just cut the fenders pretty much. Not much. Not a whole
Yeah, I
ton.
cut them a bunch.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did
That
the
front is cut.
cut and fold in the rear,
Okay.
and then I cut as much as I possibly could. If you look over here on the driver's side, there's the reservoir for the
Oh,
windshield washer fluid. So I cut exactly up to that. I can't cut anymore. But
interesting. That lays pretty flat. I need one of those that doesn't stick down as far because mine is like right into the tire with the 40s, and
yeah,
I wonder if an XJ one if I could make that work. They're asking what year that XJ is. I forgot. Did you say 94?
97.
97. 97
Yeah.
XJ, Timothy. And you're still what? Whose springs are those? You have stock springs on the back, or what is this spring in the back?
So it's a rough country 4.5 inch long arm lift, and then I have like this little tiny spacer right here, so half
Okay.
inch,
Mm-hmm.
and it evens out because I did the axle swap and it has a bigger axle tube.
It has the 8.8 in the rear.
Yeah, it has an 8.8, which is a 3.25 inch,
Mm-hmm.
versus the Dana 35, which was a
Terrible.
2.75 inch tube.
Garbage.
Yeah, yeah, but
And
now you probably can't see it very
sweet.
well, but
I can see it. It's down there. It exists.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Hydraulic steering is being asked. Do you have hydro steering on there?
No, it's just the stock steering box, but
You
I do
still
have
got
1 ton steering.
it's all 1 ton stuff, but this only has 35s on it, so I think you're probably solid. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I got
with
chromoly shafts, lockers
okay,
front and rear.
is that a high pinion 30 in that? Some of those came with those high pinion 30s.
Yeah, so they had high pinion from 84 all the way to 99 and a half. And
Okay,
like September 1999, they switched because they knew they were getting rid of the XJ. So they started using the TJ low pinion
oh, got
Dana
it.
30 in September
Interesting,
99.
interesting. Yeah, Timothy, he could go a 37. The problem is when you go that much bigger tire size. So what did you regear it to?
So I have 410s because um, the axle I got for the rear already had 410s, so I just regeared the front to
Got it.
match.
Which is probably pretty adequate for 35, right?
It wasn't too bad on 33s, but now, like pulling hills, because I
Oh
drive
yeah,
it everywhere, it could definitely use lower gears. I mean, the speedometer's really accurate, but
sweet.
I would rather have more power than a accurate speedometer.
Oh come on, accurate speedometer is so important though.
You can always change the tooth in the gear in the transfer case to a different number of teeth and correct it.
Yeah, so I wish that Ford would have done something similar or like more so I can so this one goes by the revolution. It's not RPM, but it's like axle revolution in the computer or something. And it only will go to like it's like 500 or something or 600 that it will go to, and the 40s call for this thing to be at like 540. And so I can't even get the speedometer. It's been off by 20% since I built it. And then we just started monkeying with it and we finally got it down to 10% off. It's very exciting.
Nice. You're
So
twice as accurate now.
yeah, exactly. It's so much better. So he said he got chromoly shafts, Timothy. Can you see all the comments too?
Oh yeah, and I can see them now. Sorry. I got 27 spline. They're just stock splines because if you go to the 30 splines, you got to replace the hub assemblies, which is a
Yeah.
chore and
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, those need some stuff to go bigger. The smaller axles are harder to go bigger spline on that.
And you
So
have like a pretty small ring gear, 7.25 inch ring gear. So
yeah.
I feel like you don't want to go too big to where your axle shafts are fine and you just blow up the ring and pinion.
Yeah, you want to keep it almost small enough to to make sure that you don't destroy a ring and pinion, but that you break an axle shaft essentially. So like make your axle shaft your weak point. There's been a lot of talk about that because people ask me all the time, like, what am I running for axle shafts? What am I doing? And there's the F450s with the actual Super 60, which you probably know all this, but came with a 1550 joint in the front axles versus a
That's big.
14, yeah, versus a 1410. And
Well, mine's a 1310.
yeah, well, yeah,
So
so it's still bigger, but it goes into these other 60s. So with like, so a buddy of mine, we were talking about this last week, and I don't know if he's on here right now, but he goes, I went to O'Reilly and they have an unlimited warranty on the factory Ford replacement parts, and so he went and got the unlimited warranty through
that must be
O'Reilly.
nice.
Yeah, and so it's like $600 for front axle shafts. They're not chromoly, but they're 1550 joint, and that's the problem. It's not that they're too small on these trucks. It's that uh the joints are kind of not stellar. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the back. I so far, um, knock on wood, I've been okay. But yeah, details. Good details. So now he disappeared. Now you're on the other side of your phone. There he is. He's coming back. So he can read the comments. So you guys can pick on him, and then he can rebuttal you.
Something happened to my sound.
Oh boy. He muted me. He doesn't care.
Sorry, I'm messing with my sound here. It went quiet, and I don't know how to make it go loud again.
Well, that's cool. I hear you. I hear you just fine.
Yeah, the problem is when I use my computer so I can read the comments, I can't turn on the sound, and so I was playing it through my phone, and then my phone is quiet now, and I can't hear it when I'm that far away.
Oh yeah. Walrus, no, and bye. Ismail, I'm not going to Pakistan. Sorry, buddy. Oh, here come the spammers. Their favorite comment. Such a mess, man. Spammers are coming. Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Now you're back. Timothy, I've not been to Barnwell Mountain. Where is Barnwell Mountain? Did your phone go loud again? That's the real question. So if you set your phone in front of you too, you can get the comments. Yeah,
All right,
so you
I
can
give
just
up
get the
on that.
comments in the front of the phone too. That's what I end up doing. Is that where Barnwell?
Technology never works like you
Yeah,
hope
no,
it will.
never. And I don't. Well, yeah, I just sit here on my phone. I have my phone on my tripod right close to me, so it's real fun. Barnwell Mountain. I feel like I've heard of it, but I have not been there, Timothy. I've wheeled in Texas. I've wheeled in Oklahoma, but I have not been to Barnwell Mountain. Jesus or Jesus, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah. So Caleb, tell us about this cool thing that you are doing right now that they can watch you on with your team here.
Yeah, so we got voted into a competition for Bleep and Jeep. It's a Jeep build challenge called Beast Wars. So we had to make a submission video, and there were 26 people that submitted videos, and we got chosen. We got selected as one of the 7 teams to compete, and we are the 3 amigos. That was the theme that we chose because
I love it. I think it's
we're
brilliant.
building an Isuzu Amigo.
Yeah, I love this.
So the Amigo was at my house until last weekend, but currently I have all the parts over here for the front axle. I disassembled everything, like this. I got all the pieces and parts for it, axle shafts, but the
Nice.
housing was bent, so I had to send that off to a
Oh,
shop to get built.
okay.
But over here, I got my. I'm going to start doing some gears, so I made some setup bearings
Nice.
to do that. And sorry, my garage is a mess, but I got
Oh,
this
mine
aux
too.
locker
Oh, cool.
to install
And
with
is
some
that the cable driven
513
one?
gears.
That's the cable driven locker?
Yeah, we got the cable shifter.
Sweet.
Um, this is the shifter for it.
Yeah.
If you get the manual one, you get a shifter like this. You can do electric or air or manual,
I
and
I
it
like I
it's really
like the
cool. It
manuals.
shifts with a shift. What do you call it? Like a transmission collar,
Okay.
and so it's way more robust than a typical locker is because those little solenoids, they have gaskets if you have air,
Ugh, ugh.
and if it's electric, that little thing goes out all the time. And
Yeah. I have
so
seen
this
way
one's
too
like
many
foolproof.
failures. Yeah, I've seen way
Can't
too
mess
many
it up.
failures, and that's the reason that this got Detroit's because every time on the trail somebody's locker doesn't work. I've never heard the word "it's a Detroit." I have always heard it's an air locker, it's an A locker, something like that, and it's just not worth it. So, Timothy, you asked about Rugged Mountain Ranch. Yes, I have been to Rugged Mountain Ranch. That is where one of the places we went. I was on Ultimate Adventure when Ultimate Adventure went through Texas. So, uh, wherever Ultimate Adventure went, I went somewhere in Davis, Oklahoma, somewhere in I don't even know. I don't even remember. It was amazing. But yeah. Yeah, so this thing that you're doing sounds super cool. So you're actually going to Windrock for the competition.
Yeah, so in October, we'll be there 3 days to film this competition. I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing, but I imagine it'll be a lot of fun.
It seems like it
Try
could
not to
be.
roll.
Yeah, yeah. Are you guys? Is there like a cage requirement and stuff? Do you have to do a cage?
Yeah, you have to have at least a hoop, uh, either inside or outside.
Okay, a single hoop.
So yeah, we'll do a cage because we plan on all three riding in it. So we have a back seat for it.
Nice.
So, and I think it's big enough. We have some Three Amigo hats. We can all fit
Perfect.
in there with our hat on. So,
Perfect. Perfect. So if you guys want three Amigo hats, no, I was just kidding. Are you gonna sell those hats or no?
yes.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So if you want three Amigo hats around the three Amigos of off road, I think it's hilarious. This is a wonderful idea, and I think it's stellar. I think it'll be a good time. It's, and I'm jealous. I kind of wanna build something too. So
Yeah, the hard part is it's only $5,000. So that's
yeah,
pretty difficult these days to build something that cheaply.
yeah. Are you like allowed to use like the same thing they were doing, like use Onyx discounts and stuff like that, or what are you
Yeah.
trying to get free
Yeah. I mean, you
parts?
can do, it's just whatever you can get, whatever you can get for $5,000, however you can get it. But there's a little caveat of, if you show up with a $20,000 rig that you bought for $5,000, that someone can buy it, someone in the competition can buy it for seven. So if you think it'll sell for $7,000 and you don't want to sell it, then you better not bring it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I was gonna say I don't have much more. I don't know. I probably have 10 in the excursion now, which is kind of crazy. It's like still pretty low, except now with the gears and stuff. I bet I'm closer to 15 now with the gears and without the time. Obviously,
Yes.
the time element is the like if you were to pay a shop to do what you've done to yours and what you're doing to the Amigo, and you're doing the gears yourself because of that. And like I paid somebody, that was the one thing I paid somebody to do because uh, I didn't want them to not be right. And if I was
Right.
building a trail rig, it's a different story. But the fact that I'm building a rig uh, that is going to drive down the highway and drive on the trail, I felt like I needed somebody to make them perfect. And these things are quieter than factory now. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and if I could afford it, I might. Well, I don't know now. Now that I'm like so far into doing it myself, I'm like I can't now take it to a shop and have them
no,
do something to it. So
no, and it's so like it's not hard, but it's almost like the patience game. Like it's not necessarily hard if you have the right tools, but it's like how patient. How many times are you willing to take it in and out to make it perfect? Is the thing, and are you willing to like can if you screw parts up, can you fix them? Like we were
right.
messing with mine, and like he swung one hit at the dang pinion before it had a nut on it, and just swole it enough where the nut he could feel it spin, but it got caught. And so we took it over to his lathe and turned the thing back down. And I'm like, well, I don't have any of those tools. like you know what I mean? Like wouldn't have gotten anywhere with that. So
Yeah,
uh,
that's yeah. I have about 11,000 into mine with the purchase of it.
yeah, and that's what I'm at with the Excursion too. It's 15 with the purchase. I only paid 3 for it. So
That's a good
Ti
deal.
yeah, yeah. Timothy, this is a V10. I have a 7.3 that way, and there's a 6 liter right there and behind him. We got 3 of the motors sitting here.
Yeah,
So
mine's diesel back
yeah,
there.
yeah, that's a diesel right there, and that thing looks super stock. Like
Yeah, it's very very stock. I
yeah,
I
that's
realized the other day that my degas like overflow coolant bottle is leaking.
sweet.
It's like every time I drove it, I'd have to put in a gallon of coolant, and I'm like, it's not ending up in the oil. So
Yeah,
where is
you're
it?
like what? Is it the same way where they make like those aluminum ones? Because that has the degas up on the cowl or something weird, right?
If I can get it open.
One-handed. It's more exciting to do things one-handed.
Turn this around.
All right, there is a 6 liter Excursion,
That's right.
and
So the only thing I've done to it so far is I put this little filter on the coolant because one of the problems is the oil and EGR coolers have really small passages, and if you get any sort of material in there, they clog up, and then your oil heats up, and then you blow your engine. Well, the head gasket and all that. So
yeah, well,
that was
let's
my
not do
first
that.
little mod.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's super easy too. Super simple
But
to be
yeah,
able
there's
to do.
a hole in the side of the bottle. It sucks. So I should
Nice,
come today. That's my
nice.
project later.
Yeah,
Later
that's
today.
funny because they moved, and I don't know if I've ever seen one. They moved the battery, and they laid the filter very similar to the V10. The air filter is like almost identical to where the V10 one is. And
Huh.
then is it?
Yeah, I always see, it says V10 right here, so I
Uh-huh.
always know when it's a V10.
So does it come and it probably comes through the cowl like the V10 one too to get fresh air?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
here.
there's a tube that comes out for its fresh air. It's a tiny little tube, man. It's so
Yeah.
goofy. Why? You get a big old filter and a tiny like does that really push the amount of air that truck needs? This is
Yeah, I
insane.
don't know. This is maybe like a 4.5-inch diameter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that exciting. So no, so this one, so yeah, tell us the story on this. So you just bought this pretty
So
recently.
this one, it was a one-owner vehicle. The guy had passed away, and so they were going to sell it, but they had just replaced the motor with a Jasper, and so it had maybe like 2,000 miles on it, and it had a two-year warranty. So even though it was a 6.0, it was like a brand new 6.0, and so I was like, okay. But it's like all the seat
Yeah, hang on.
knives.
Hang on, it's
It's
bumping a little
limited.
bit, but there it goes again. Uh Limited with leather, and that's got the newer play out the stuff. The dashes all went black. I don't know what year that happened, but all that upper went
Oh, really?
black. So mine are well, this one's all gray, but the tan one, most tan interiors are a darker tan on the dash. So I see
So
that.
for Father's Day, I got these mats.
Yeah, the Husky mats, dude.
Keep it clean.
Are you impressed with those?
Yeah, they fit really well, and they weren't too expensive.
Yeah.
And I think they will water.
Yeah.
When you close the door, it seals
Yeah,
it
people
right
were
there.
like, "I don't like the lip. I catch my
But
foot on it." And I'm like, "I don't even have a step, and I've never caught my foot on the little lip on these things, and they fit so nice." Like I have a fire
oh
extinguisher
yeah,
laying on the B pillar that's mounted right in there on this one, and I had to cut it around the fire extinguisher. And you got the rear one too, right? Let's see, is that a rear?
hang on, let's see.
Yeah, you have it in the rear, right? Or you have the third row one? No, you don't. Okay. They make
Yeah,
a third
third
row
row.
one too.
Oh yeah. I just one piece at a time. I took these from the front and put them in the back so my
Oh,
kids
okay.
wouldn't get it too
Okay.
dirty.
Yeah, the the Husky for the third row is so nice. I've always had like the cheap one from the auto parts place, and it's just a joke. And so the one I'm so impressed. I have it in my white truck. Just put it in there recently. So yeah, that thing is really clean. Everything looks
He
really
says my
nice.
combobulator is busted.
Yeah, it's doing like random things where it's bouncing and stuff. I think you must be far from your router. Your
Oh
phone's
yeah,
just yeah.
sorry.
No, it's all good. Uh, it's fine. Yeah, I don't see anything else that they. I always look because I haven't really looked at like earlier ones or later ones, and
Uh
so
huh.
I'm always looking for like what are the big changes that they made, and there looks to be nothing in the back of this one.
Yeah, yeah. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah, even the same plug and everything. So, did you put the higher hatch struts on there yet?
No, but I did notice how short these ones are.
Isn't it weird? You're just like, why is this the huge truck? And I don't know how tall you are, but like I'm 6'3" and it's a problem. Like,
I
so,
think they were worried about short people and not being able to reach it.
you know what it actually is, I think, is in a garage, if the door is up and you have the stock ones, it doesn't hit the door.
Huh.
And
Yeah,
so I
because it
think
looks like the hinges go further.
exactly the hinges will
And
go like
even
almost.
this, that would stretch.
Hmm.
This would stretch. Everything would go higher except that strut makes it stop.
Yeah. Yeah, so much easier to get and, like, I'm fine. It sucks on the trail for sometimes, like, when I park, like, Gracie Camo just popped in here, and they're like, they have to jump. But, yeah, like, when I park on the trail and it's in a terrible spot for short people, it's hilarious. Because like, there was a spot in San Hollow that I parked at the top of a crest of a hill, and my wife and the wife of Grayson Camo opened it, and then they stood there and stared at it for like 5 minutes trying to figure out how they were gonna get it down. It was very funny. It was
It's
great.
funny, even the hubcaps here say limited.
Yeah, yeah, so that's the correct hubcap for that wheel. That wheel was introduced in '03.
It came
So,
with some nice KO2s on it.
nice. Yeah,
I
looks
did go to
sweet.
the junkyard and find some bump stops
Oh,
because the
yeah?
other ones had completely broken off for the
Sweet.
front.
Yeah,
And
it
then
happens.
the little flapper bars in the back that keep the
Oh, keep the seats up.
no, it's the
Sorry, the little flap.
the axle wrap.
Oh, yeah, so that's actually an overload spring. It's not really an axle wrap thing. Yeah, yeah, they all just get destroyed. Um, those, yeah, they all get destroyed. Oh, he's gone. He's back. There you are.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Internet problem.
Yeah, it happens. I literally put a
I think my screen is all dirty.
I literally put another router. I've got one of these like mesh systems, so I could have another router in my garage, so that I could
I need to get closer to my router.
Yeah, yeah, it happens. But yeah, what you're looking at in the back is not necessarily like a wrap thing. It's like an overload spring. So the idea is that if you were really to put a lot of weight on it, it would add that spring to the pack. But I don't really, I don't know. They're not on this truck anymore. And the Super Duty springs eliminate them because the Super Duty doesn't have them. What up, a-hole? How are you doing? You found us again, having a good time. We're talking to Project XJ. Well, we were. He's working on the internet. Is sometimes loving him, sometimes hating him.
Yeah, it's my internet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Uh, so yeah, we're talking to him, looking at his excursion, and just hanging out, talking excursions here. So he's got it's an 05?
Yeah, 05.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got the final year. What month was it built?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It says it on the thing. We're gonna lose you again when you walk up outside.
It's on the door, right?
Yeah, it's on the VIN tag. So, or not the VIN tag, but yeah, the little door sticker. And he froze. So I can still hear him though. His internet does not like to be at the excursion. Apparently, the excursion is like an internet dark hole at his house. Oh,
Yeah, I can't get too close to it.
yeah. What year is it? Or
It
what?
was
What month?
August. August 05.
Oh, funny. Oh, there you go. A-hole says that you can buy a Yukon XL if you want to save on repair bills. These guys, man, they got jokes.
I have a thing against GM.
Yeah, me too. In that I don't like them, and that they're not comfortable, and that no thanks. I'll keep my crappy Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, a little extra maintenance for the government not paying for your vehicle.
Yeah. Details. I'll take it all day long.
Yeah.
So that's funny. So my white truck was built in August of 00. So it's they're like almost on either end. And then this is like one of the really early ones. I think this is 99. I think it's November of 99.
Okay.
I forget what it is. But this is
Yeah, because 2000 was the first year, so they started making them in 99.
Yep.
Yeah, my Jeep's 1296, so it's, one of the first 97s, the newer body style. Put the distributor on the wrong side of the motor. What side is that?
The front instead of the back, so you don't have to lay against the firewall. So on a small block on a Chevy, the distributor is against the firewall, which is extremely annoying. I don't know why anybody prefers that. But Ford put the distributor right behind the belt. It's on the front of the motor. So yeah, again, that doesn't make sense because I feel like Chevy put the distributor on the wrong side of the motor because they didn't want to have to fight the firewall when they were fighting the distributor. But I don't know, up to you. Whatever you want to say.
Yep.
Chevy guys can't be swayed. It's fine. I appreciate
as long as they put the timing chain on the front.
Yeah. A-hole comes on here every week or almost every week. It's really funny because I like know these guys and he comes on and gives me a hard time every week, but he still hangs out and that's okay because we're buds. So the internet's fine, It's the internet's very entertaining and as far as all that goes. So yeah, no, that 6-liter, it looks like you did good and you didn't pay. I don't think you paid too much for it. I think you did really good. So I think it's time to build it now. It needs all the stuff to tow your Jeeps everywhere.
I really want to do coil springs on the front of this because I was at a junkyard and I pulled the axles and I'm like, I should have gotten all the hardware and brackets that I needed and just done the swap. I mean, it would have cost me $750.
Yeah, that's insane. You need to buy me a set of axles like that.
Next time I get
750
an
bucks.
F-250 here in the junkyard, I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have. I don't know. I need to keep. Uh, Hey, hole. You don't have to convince me to do a 5-speed swap because it's going to get a 6-speed soon enough.
That's one thing about the 6.0 versus the 7.3 is it has a 5-speed instead of
Yep.
the 4-speed.
Yep. Yeah. And they're all automatic, which is lame. But yeah, you that extra gear I've thought about, and I don't know if the V10's got them later. I've never driven one. But I don't think the V10's got that 5-speed, right?
No, yeah, each engine has its own transmission for the Excursion. So the
It's
5.4 has its own, the V10 has its own.
really it's the
Yeah, the
same.
7.3 and the 6.0.
But the 7.3 and the V10 have an E4OD, or not an E4OD, the 4R100. It's the same trans. It might
Hmm.
have a little bit different stuff in it. And I think the 5.4 is the same way. I think the 6-liter might be literally the only one that got a different transmission.
Yeah, because it's like a
5R100 or something dumb.
5110W or something like that.
Oh, okay.
R5,
Okay.
R10, 110. I don't know. I forget.
Yeah. Yeah. But that transmission I think is better actually than as far as like longevity and stuff too. So, uh, the 6-liter got a good transmission, but then the 6-liter got the 6-liter, and so they're just hit or miss.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
thing is all these engines were in, F-250s and F-350s, which was pretty popular. So you can find a lot of parts, and people make aftermarket stuff, and
yeah.
there's a big community of people who all have the same problems.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of information on how to fix the problems.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just out there trying to guess with an Oldsmobile Tornado or something. You're just you got a Super Duty that maybe and with that having a new engine, I think it's great. I think you did very good. The body's super clean because you're in Arizona and all that. So I think you've got a nice rig. You said you were looking for 10 years. Why did you keep looking for an Excursion and not just settle for a Suburban or an Expedition EL or something like that?
Well, I have an Expedition EL.
Okay.
I have an '07, and it's nice. It's leather. It's got the 5.4. I've got 225,000 miles on it, and I started having some issues. Like at
So can't fit.
130,000 miles, the torque converter started slipping.
Oh, geez.
So I took it to a shop, and the AC went out on my way to the shop to go get the transmission fixed.
Oh my gosh.
So I had them fix the transmission and the AC, and the AC's gone out 3 times since then, and the transmission's still going, so that's good. But it developed a hunger for spark plugs. I've changed since 130,000 miles, so I have 125 or 225, so 100,000 miles. I've changed the spark plugs probably 5 times,
Oh my gosh. And it
and
actually burns them in that time?
oh yeah, like it was one time I drove 3 miles and it blew up the spark plug, and just like blew it apart, and like the end came off and the tip was
Interesting.
blown, and so I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out, but it's very frustrating.
Huh.
And I don't feel like I can take it long distances with. Well, I mean, I keep spare plugs and coils because I've replaced all the coils. Um, but aside from the AC and the spark plugs and the transmission, it's been a really good vehicle. I mean, I bought it cheap. And so when I had to do the transmission, I was like, oh, just added to the cost, but
Yeah.
it'll still be a reliable vehicle for a long time. And it has been. I've had it 7 years.
Yeah, you've had it
But
for.
the Excursion, I don't know, it's just like the ultimate, right? Like if you can get, I've always wanted a diesel. I want something that could tow my Jeep and haul all the kids and the stuff. And they're expensive, but they also hold their value. Like
Yeah.
you buy it, you keep it for 10 years, and then you sell it for what you bought it for.
Yep, more or less.
So you really can't lose.
Well, it's like we were talking about. They don't build anything. Somebody in the comments said a 2500 HD Suburban is pretty cool, and I do agree. I don't dislike those 2500 Suburbans. The issue with them is that they slapped 3/4 ton stuff on a 1/2 ton frame and called it a 3/4 ton. So they're really not as they're not the same as an Excursion. It's still really just a 1/2 ton that's trying to grow up. And it did get the 8.1, and that's a stellar motor. That's a great motor. Uh, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same as having all 3/4 ton stuff, the big 3/4 ton frame, and all of that stuff. So, uh, you know, um, somebody's saying in the comments, let's see. Aho, you are correct. They were having issues with them. The V10s and the 5.4s did spit plugs. He has a 2007. I think in 2003 they fixed the heads. They put more threads in the heads. But you've got the cam phasers, right? On that '07? Because there's the 3 valve.
Yeah, I think it's like a 3-valve one. So
Yeah. Yeah, so you've got that. The Excursion never got the 3 valve for the V10. It just got newer heads in '03, and so the newer heads stick it. And so yeah, I think you know, Timothy, you're right. A V10 will pull a Jeep, but it will be angry about it, and it's not as cool. I mean, why not have a diesel if you can,
and
right?
the Expedition will pull its
Yeah,
towing capacity is like 10,000 pounds for the 2-wheel drive. Mine's
yeah.
4-wheel drive, so it's at like 9750 or something like that. And it
Hmm.
did. I've towed the Jeep with it. I've towed a boat with it. I've towed trailers, building a house, with flooring and all the stuff on it. Um, and it never overheated or anything like that. But I think the Excursion will definitely tow,
It's
11,000 pounds with ease
yeah, yeah.
compared to the Expedition.
Well, and that's what I always tell people. I go, the new F-150s are rated for actually, I think more than most of our Excursions are. And but the question is, which one would you rather have towing it? And I think I'd still rather have an Excursion towing it. Uh, you know, I uh, I just think that it's built better for it. So yeah. Mr. 420, you are correct. The Suburban has been around longer. I don't know that that makes it better. Uh, I don't think that that makes it better. I'm sorry.
Well, they used to make like the 2,500, Suburbans.
Yeah,
But now,
they
they're
don't make a
all,
2500 anymore.
no.
And they have never offered a factory diesel option, which is just ridiculous. You can swap them, that's fine, or the government got them, but you could not ever go down and buy a diesel Suburban, and that's such a bummer because I think that's a huge missed market. A Duramax Suburban, well, now they sell the 6-cylinder diesel, which isn't even rated to it's rated to tow less than the 5.3 Suburban.
Yeah,
And
the 3.0, like their mini diesel.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, and so it's just really it's not comparable to a big grunty diesel motor that's actually built for towing. So, um,
Yeah, like on the side of the engine here, it tells you your stats. So when you want to feel manly, you can come over here.
oh, you got stats on yours? Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah, so it says um it's 325 horsepower at 3,000 RPM and 560 foot-pounds of torque at 2,000 RPM.
550. Not bad. Timothy, what do we think of the 12 valve swap Excursion? I get asked that almost every week, and I think I try and have the same answer because my answer is true. Uh, I think that swaps are awesome and they can be awesome. But I have never ever seen one fully completed that somebody wasn't already selling or that had all the working stuff. So, like air conditioning worked, cruise control worked, all of the stuff that makes a vehicle feel really good and nice. And so, if you can make it work and you can make all that work, then it's pretty awesome. But it is a ton of work and a ton of money. And you should have just bought a 7.3 Excursion to start with. Better than a 12 valve, more power. What do you think, Caleb? Caleb, what do you think of a 12 valve swapped Excursion? Why did you not seek out a 12 valve swap Excursion?
I mean, the nice thing about the 12 valve is it's so simple.
Hmm.
I imagine you can make anything work.
Yeah,
So it's not a bad idea. But it'd be super cool if someone did it.
yeah,
But
it's been
it
done.
would be a ton of work.
It's just a ton of work. All right, Mr. 420. If Excursions are so great, why did they stop making them? Well, my short answer to that is that they didn't need to make any more because they're still all on the road. So that's kind of my thing. Have reverb again over there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What did you
It's
switch to?
because something's up with my speaker on my phone, and so I can't hear. I'm like
Sweet.
trying to read your lips, and then I got a speaker, but if you're gonna
Oh.
pick it up, then I can't use it.
No, it's okay. You can do it. Mr. 420, I am just fine with you having your opinion that you like the Suburban better, man. I am so glad that you are in here. And I just don't like Suburbans. And so I'm an Excursion guy. And you're not going to convince me differently. I grew up in Suburbans. So you can pick on me. That's fine. But the Excursion is always going to be a better SUV in my mind. And the Suburban might be in yours. That's fine. But in the end, I think we all just really like big SUVs, and we all just want them to succeed. So, so, yeah, I just want people to have. I just wish somebody would compete again with a Suburban. The Grand Wagoneer is kind of an interesting one. I didn't realize how big you could get a Grand Wagoneer.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's actually bigger than the Excursion.
Is it? Is it even longer too?
Yeah, it's longer, wider. It's
Jeez.
huge.
It's wider?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know how you could get it because maybe it has the 3 lights. I think if you're over 80 inches, you have to have the 3 marker lights, and that's why the Excursion is listed at 79.9 from the factory.
Maybe it is the same width, but
It's the same
yeah,
width.
I know it's right around 80 inches is the 3
Yeah.
lights. That's why the Ford Raptor has the 3 lights.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why the Raptors do. So it's just kind of interesting. I don't know. It's I didn't realize yeah. Hey, Hole, that's like our biggest concern, man, is that Ford's gonna bring it back as an electric. And yeah, and not put it on a Super Duty chassis.
I don't know. I think GM is really good at making things gayer. Like they brought back the Bronco, and that's cool.
Yeah, the Bronco came out really
brought back
nice.
the Blazer, and it's like the worst thing. I don't know who's buying those, soccer moms.
Yeah, it was very disappointing because GM was like, "We're gonna bring the Blazer back and use the name," and then they just failed so miserably on that. Now the Hummer, though, even though it's electric, I think that they did a decent job on the Hummer. I think that looks like something that I would actually drive.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all electric, which
That's
is
scary.
kind of disappointing because it's just the downfall is it's like 9,000 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't really off road it. It's like it's gonna be a boat
Yeah.
anchor, and it
Yeah.
costs $110,000 like to start.
Yeah,
So
and I just
you got
don't.
to
I
be
don't
rich
see.
to own it,
Yeah,
and
I don't
it'll
see
probably
anybody.
break if you did anything reasonably difficult with it. But it
Yeah.
does have like the cool factor, like being all electric and it's still fast and it has the crab walk, which I don't know. To me, is gimmicky, but I get people want that. I don't know.
Yeah, I go back and forth. I just think for a lot of car manufacturers and stuff, it's kind of been a letdown recently. I at least didn't think that the Hummer was a massive letdown. I think the more that I see that now, obviously the price is insane, and you're never gonna buy one to just go wheel it. But like at least it looks okay. And he took the name. Yeah, the new vet is sick. I love that. Timothy, travel. This I don't know how familiar you are with the Metal Cloak CTI trailer. If you're not, you should go on my YouTube channel. There's a video down a ways. You can see the truck going up on it. And it scored a 760, which what that means there's 9 inches of travel on each side of the front. So there's 18 inches. One tire will go up without taking the other tire off the ground, and then 19 in the back. So 9.5 in the back. So Mr. 420, I totally agree, man. The Hummer is amazing. That 1,000 horsepower is awesome, but I don't think anybody's going to take it and put 1,000 horsepower down off road because you just can't. You're just not going to do it. So
And that's 1,000 horsepower pulling 10,000 pounds.
yeah, and it's always moving 10,000 pounds. So uh, but the electric Jeep isn't real, Grayson Camo. It's a hybrid, so it's only like 20 miles hybrid wise, and then you plug it in. So my brother lives in Seattle, and his neighbor has an electric Jeep, and he said he just runs his kids around to school and stuff. It never starts the electric or the gas motor, so he just charges it every night and runs it around town because he doesn't need it. So yeah, it's yeah. A-hole, I do agree that torque always over horsepower, except that argument doesn't help go against EVs because that makes EVs even better because they have the torque instantly. And so it's yeah, that instant I still haven't even driven electric, but that instant torque, I can't imagine the feeling like getting your heart just throwing through your back like that. Like, I don't know, that's insane. You can't function. Timothy, I don't know Roland Ball.
Roland Ball. I don't know him.
Don't know who that is. Yeah, no idea. So, but yeah, no, I do. I think that that's a pretty cool rig, and I don't know the dual motors. But again, like you said, the electric thing is the problem, and the weight, and the fact that you're tied to wherever you can go. You need some place to charge it. So I just can't imagine trying to overland and then pulling into a gas station hoping you can use their power for an hour. Like, I don't really know how that would work. I don't.
And it always goes less miles than it says it will. So you can't
Yeah,
even trust it. Be like, oh yeah, we can go 120 miles. I'm like, no, you'll get maybe 100 out of the 120,
yeah.
and then need to charge.
Well, you need to
And to
charge it.
power, like to charge that thing with solar
Ugh.
would take like a week.
Yeah, you'd have to start. Yeah, you couldn't drive anywhere. So it's kind of annoying. Timothy, that
Timothy
is
asked if we've seen a F-150 with a Power Stroke, and I have one. I've seen one
yeah, very few.
3-liter
That's
Power Stroke
yep,
F-150,
yep.
and I was like, oh, there's a unicorn right there.
Yeah, yeah, they're super rare. I feel like I've seen one too, but very, very rare. Timothy, that is awesome, man. That's some nice travel. Yeah, yeah. I was just and an hour seems absurd to me when I'm overlanding. So if I'm gonna be longer than an hour at a gas station when I'm overlanding, I don't want to be there. So so, but yes, I'm sure it takes longer than an hour. I and especially yeah, 110. I mean, what does it take? I have no idea. It probably takes 12 hours on 110 to fully charge one of those batteries 'cause they're so big. I have no idea. I'm not the right guy to be talking about electrics. I don't know enough about them. And I just know that I just don't really need one. I'll keep my terrible gas burner out of the junkyard instead.
I mean,
So
it makes sense if you're just gonna commute to work and back and never need gas and you just charge it.
yeah,
But other than that, it's not very practical.
Yeah. Timothy, thanks for hanging out, man. We will see you later. Appreciate it. Charge the confused days on 110. Yeah. Grace and Camo are driving through St. George right now, which Caleb's gonna come to Trail Hero. I'm just gonna start saying it, and then he's gonna just come.
I've always
And
wanted to go. I've watched all the videos.
yeah, so he's gonna come and hang out, and we're not gonna wheels excursion though. Uh, but wheel the XJ and hang out, and so they're driving. I hate to tell you this, Grace and Camo, but I don't think that St. George is on the way to Texas. So from where you're going from Havasu. Oh, you don't want to go across the 40. You want to go across the 70 that bad? Or you're not going to go. Yeah, you're going to go the 70? Why? Why are you doing that to yourself? The 70 is terrible in Jeeps. Um, A-hole, yes, diesel will last forever. Diesel is and pretty incredible. I'm a big fan. If you're in here and you haven't hit the like button, you're just hanging out with a couple guys, just talking trucks. So, if you have any questions that you want us to just go over in the comment section, hit them up. We would love that. Hit a like on this. If you haven't subscribed to me, you should do that. And uh, if you have not subscribed to Project XJ, I don't know if you can just click on it in the live. I have no idea. But if you haven't, he's the other guy live. That's not that guy. I don't know if it shows on the same your screen. Uh, and you should subscribe to his channel. He has got some really cool XJ content, and he's tastefully built an XJ. A lot of guys crazily build an XJ, and I like a tasteful XJ, kind of a sleep.
Yeah.
I'm the sleeper guy. I love, and I don't know where that came from or what it is. Like my dad built stuff that way, but then when I started things, it's like I love making it look like you need to really double take as to what is going on. Like when you see Bob in person, you own Excursion, so you'll see it right away. But like a lot of people don't, haven't seen Excursion in a while or haven't really looked at one. They really don't notice, and it's kind of funny because it's like, what is different about that? Why does that not look right? And then I tell them like, no, yeah, that's what it is, and it's really funny. And that's the greatest compliment to me because you didn't just walk up to it and go, it obviously looks like, it's got big tires. It looks like something, but it
You can
doesn't.
tell you wheel it because you got the scratches to prove it.
Well, now I do. Yeah. I did really well. For a long time, I didn't. But I kept saying, I don't want to really push it until I have the lockers. Because if I scratched it before I had the lockers, it would have been like, gosh, I maybe could have avoided it, or I could have, if something slid into it or did that. Now it's like, I don't care. The lockers are going to either take me through this or it's going to slide into it, and it is what it is. And yeah, I've got the dent and the impossible to find door to prove it. So it's fine. Going back to the 40 now, but you had to start in Vegas. Again, Vegas to Kingman gets you to the 40 a lot quicker. St. George.
That's true.
I don't know what you're doing, Greg.
So speaking of body damage, I try to keep this pretty clean, but
Why is it cutting right now? We lost him. He just froze. He didn't even like disconnect. He completely froze. Exciting. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Yeah, something happened. I don't know what
I have
happened.
no idea. You froze. It's fine.
So you can see right here,
Oh,
I
yeah.
did that on both sides somehow. I'm like, dang
Sweet.
it.
Sweet.
So at least it matches. And then I think it's the other side here. I did this a little bit right here. But
You need to. That's easy though, because you can just when you build you can build a more low profile bumper and just cut all that off.
yeah, I'm good there. I'm gonna do the comp cut. But I got
Yeah.
rear-ended on the trail. And I don't know if you
Oh.
see these little circles.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen those like hitch attachments, like your winch attachment? Where you can put like a D-ring through.
Oh,
It's like
maybe.
a
Yeah.
little. It's got that perfect imprint into the bumper.
Pressed in.
Yeah, I got rear-ended in it.
That's goofy.
It saved me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's goofy. Yeah, I have these sweet this this is on both sides of this truck,
Oh
and
yeah.
this is from the previous owner. And whoever did it like identical on both sides. They put the trailer, whatever trailer they jackknifed into it,
Oh yeah.
they put it into both sides. And I figured it was higher than where I was going to cut, and then it wasn't. So it was very disappointing. So, okay, we got a question in the chat here.
Change the light bulb.
Change out the light bulb on the front dome. It's stupid ribbon. All right, buddy. Charging confused. I am apologetic, my friend. Nobody makes that ribbon. That ribbon does not exist. But there is a better fix actually. So if you go on my channel and you look up interior light upgrade or something like that, you'll see what I did to Bob. I took the cat eye LEDs and they mount right in that same hole. So you take the ribbon out, you take the wires, wire it to the cat eyes, wire them opposite of what you think. So the to the switches when you wire the switches in, because the switch on the driver's side actually controls the passenger side light that shoots towards the driver as your like if you just want to turn on the reading light. Um and then yeah, so there's a video on my channel of what wires and all that stuff. So there isn't a replacement, and you get a brighter light because the excursion lights are terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty dim.
I don't understand. I don't know how we lived in a for that forever.
Before LEDs,
Yeah,
all
I
the
don't.
incandescent stuff.
Yeah, I even have LEDs in mine with the mirror and stuff on the white truck, and they're dim as crap. And I'm like, I need to put, and I just I haven't done it. I pulled it down and put the cat eyes in it. So nice, Timothy. You're back. Yeah. So Super Chips makes that. I actually have a buddy that's a tuner that is wanting to write tunes for Bob. So we're gonna go probably play with that here in the next. I have no idea when. But so these V10s have the same PCM as the 7.3s. So you can actually put a Hydra on them.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm gonna put a Hydra on this, and then I will have the ability to have 15 different tunes, which is useless for a V10, right? Except when you're an off-road guy, because we can tune it to where the transmission only goes through 1 and 2. So in 4 low, I can make it to where, and then I think we can play with all the work because I'm having trouble where the torque converter will lose pressure because it'll lose itself, and I'll sit on a when I sit on an incline or something, I'll lose pressure on the torque converter. And I'm thinking we might be able to tune into it, keep pressure up, or keep the torque converter engaged a little bit longer so that it doesn't dip out and lose pressure. So we're kind of we he was kind of brainstorming with me the other day. He's like, you could have 15 tunes because you can have a Hydra. And I was like, so I could have a tune for highway. I could have a tune for sand if we wanted to shift through all the gears. I could have a tune like everything we want to do for low wise, and I could have a tune for it and put it in it, and either it locks itself in first, and I don't have to run the shifter all the way down and leave it there, or I, lock it so it only goes 1, 2, and 4 low, and because I don't need it in third gear ever. But then I will lock it in second in the sand dunes, and then it's like trying to take off. I wish it had first gear again. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. I know I can put a different torque converter in it, Timothy. If I pull this transmission out, though, I'm gonna have a really hard time not putting a manual in it. If this transmission comes out, it's gonna get a manual transmission. It is not worth me playing with this. So it really mitigates my tunes, but really it's just an interesting thing, right? Because I could do and maybe I could do like a high idle or something still if I have a manual where I could let it out and let it idle or something. I don't really know. Um, but yeah, manual swaps are not expensive enough for me to not think about it.
It does mostly come in like an F-250, like the base models came with manuals.
Yep. Yeah, they came out with the ZF6 in them, so they have like almost a granny low type thing, and then uh all the stuff. So, Timothy, I don't know why I would not manual swap it. Sorry, I'm a manual off road guy. I have wheeled my LJ that's a 6 speed for 15 years and never ever had a problem. Um, yeah,
Really?
a 6.7 Cummins.
From what year?
Well, it's obviously swapped.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's gotta be new.
Well, no, it's a 6.7 Cummins though, so it's that the newer Cummins motor. It's I think to 2012 or something. I think is when they stopped building the Cummins 6.7. Um, that's cool. I don't know. I didn't know there was a record of fastest excursion. What's the top speed? That's the real question. Yeah, what's the top speed of this? If you're gonna say it's a world record fastest excursion, is it the fastest on the strip, or is it the
He,
fastest?
he probably means quickest. Like it gets to a speed quicker than.
He's saying on the planet, so you got to back this up, Timothy. You said it on the internet. It must be true. And I need to hear the top speed because there's a dude that drag races one. It's a 6 liter. Have you seen that one on the? Are you on the Ford Excursion Facebook things now?
No, I'm not on Facebook, but
Oh,
my
okay.
wife is, so I can go look it up and
Okay.
find it.
So yeah, there's like 10 different Ford Excursion clubs on Facebook, and there's one guy that posts every once in a while. He's got one that's low and dually. It's a 2-wheel drive with I think it's got a 6 liter in it that makes like 800 horsepower or something stupid. And he goes and just drags Miatas and stuff and pisses and at the drag strip and whoops them. Yeah, it's pretty stinking cool.
I saw one on Craigslist, I believe it was, an excursion, a dually excursion. But they're little wide body flares. I don't know where they got them, but they did not do a good job installing those.
Uh,
It looked funny.
yeah, I've seen guys do it. What color was that one?
I think it was white.
Oh, okay. I've seen guys do it with and I think this guy might have done it with like the 6.7 flares from the dually, and they're smaller and they look a little better. Some of them, I saw one like years ago in Southern Cal that had like these monster flares on it, and it was like the full dually flare, and it's almost too much. It's just like it's like it doesn't need and you open the it was like up into the door handle. And so you like open the rear door, and the rear door has this big old chunk on it, that comes off, and you're like, this doesn't seem like it's what it needs in my life. In life, it just needs a single tire cover that goes on. I don't know. I don't know that I want a dually excursion. Doesn't seem. Did the GM made dually Suburbans though? I think, or at least I've seen some of those. I don't know if they actually ever built those.
Yeah, that sounds custom to me. I can't say that I've seen a dually because I was talking to my coworker about it the other day, and he was like, you know, the only difference between why you want a dually is to run a gooseneck because you could put a lot more weight on the dual axle,
On
and
Yep.
you can't bumper tow enough weight
No.
to warrant a dually.
No.
But if you're drag stripping it, then it makes sense for traction. So I mean, that guy, he's doing it right.
Yeah, I think he's doing it right. Yeah, I think that that's the ticket for, and then you're taking like 9,000 pounds down the drag strip, so you got traction for days. If you could put enough horsepower to it, like I don't know, I think it'd be a lot of fun. That guy was in Texas, I think that black one, I think is where he was. He was talking about that the excursion event. So I think have you? Did I tell you about this at all? I told you about this a little bit. So I'm
The
working on
one
an
in
event.
Marist.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm working on an excursion event. If you're in here and you're an excursion owner, um, I'm working on an excursion event. Working on. I don't have all the details yet, but I am, getting people together. Uh, and it's going to be at Maris Adventure Park in Texas, which is in the Panhandle, which is pretty much the most central location I can find in the country. Um, everybody from the Northeast is like, I think I'm like 25 hours to it. They're like 25 and a half hours to it, which means over the hill here is like 27 hours to it. And then, or 27, and then Southern Florida is like 27 too. The only corner of the US that gets a break here is Southern California. So you're too close. You can't even say you can't make it because it's a day away from you. I mean, it's easy. Um, just hop on the 40 and bounce your way over there.
That's true.
Yeah. Um, but it's only, yeah, from you. I don't know. I bet it's only 10 hours from you to Maris. Um, which I say only 10 hours, which, that's how
I've
you
done
know
more
you're
than
in
that
the
in a day.
off-road. Yeah, that's how you know you're in the off-road world when 10 hours is like,
I took my XJ to Moab, and that's 7 hours.
yeah.
Drove it 7 hours there. I wheeled 12 hours, and then 7 hours back home.
Oh, geez, you turn around.
Yeah.
Charged and Confused. I don't know if Grace and Cam are still here. They have more access to get the link. If, okay, how do I get this to you? um, if you go to my So while I'm live here, you can try this, or you can email me if you can't find it. So in my posts on YouTube, so if you go to YouTube, my YouTube channel, go to the community tab, you'll find my posts, and then in there you can. I think it's the most recent post I did, which has been way too long now. I need to do another one. Is about the event, okay? And there should be a link in that. If you can't find that, email me geeks4x4 at gmail.com. I will send you the link and you can sign up for the stuff. All it is a Google form right now that is me just gathering emails because when talking to Maris, it was like, let's see what let's gauge the interest of this because we had no idea. I was like, this is the first one of its kind. I have no clue how many people might possibly show up, and so it was like we need to just gauge and see. So far, oh, Grayson Campbell's getting it. Charged and Confused. So hang on for a second. Um, so far, I have over 130 emails on this list, which I think is stellar. And
Yeah.
like we were talking about it, if a third of them showed up or 25%, I would be stoked for year one. Like if I had 25 excursions in the same spot, and yeah, Maris is an off-road park, but it's really not like you could come with yours. I'm not like the idea is not to have everybody off-road. There's also really easy scenic trails there. So if you have a four-wheel drive and you just want to putz down a scenic trail, you can. Or I'm hoping to do some other things. We'll see. I kind of been thinking about. I don't know if there's room for like drag race stuff. I kind of thought about that. So that I can make sure that Bob gets the slowest excursion award. And uh, and yeah, so Charged and Confused. Yeah, the idea is that we're just gonna have excursions. So yeah, so I'm obviously there's a few of us that have them that are really built. We're gonna go do. They've got black diamond trails that are crazy, and we'll go do that. And if somebody wanted to tag along, like they could, like we got seats. And then on the other side of things, I got to figure out some things for everybody else, and I have to get. Yeah, it's from my mind trying to figure out how to make all this work and get enough people together to make it make sense, right? So I have to figure out, I'm see if I can get some sponsors there, see if I can get. I don't know. I need to figure out what other things you can do. Just camp. Just show us your best camp setup out of your excursion. I don't really know. Just just be an excursion owner together. Every night we're gonna like hang out and talk about stuff. And yeah, so it's just gonna the idea is it's just like a chill hangout with excursion guys. And those of us that will have that. There's some sweet parking lots for like car show type things. And then yeah, I mean just getting to know people, I think. The excursion community is growing, but it is also a small-ish community because, as we were graciously yelled at by somebody in the comments, they only made them for 5 years. So there's only so many trucks that are out there. I have no clue what the number is that are still on the road.
But it always surprises me how many I still see.
Oh, there's a lot of
Like,
them.
I live in a smaller town, 50,000 people, and I see like 5 a day.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
not
you're
as
down
many as
there.
like XJs, but still,
Yeah,
there's quite a few.
you're down there in like excursion heaven too. Is like the deal because it like in Southern Cal was that way too. Growing up, I mean, everybody had them. I mean, we had and there is as much as it's funny. Washington's like a weird market for them to try and sell it, but like there's tons of excursions here. There's I there's 7 and or 8 or 10 in this town of 100,000 that I live in, or 80,000 of the two towns, and it's and then you get out in the rural areas, and there's one sitting in the yard, or there's one here getting driven around, or there's big families, and they're just like they're around, man. So trying to reach some of those people. Oh, and the link's not there, Greg. Are you're driving and doing this right now? Though is the problem that I have with you doing this. So
Get Grace to do it. Yeah.
no, she's driving her truck too.
Oh, she's driving. Oh, there
Yeah.
it is.
There it is. All right, Charge, you confused. Are you still here? The link is right there. Have you filled out the link yet, Hale? I didn't send it
I
to you.
have not.
All right, great.
I should look at it.
Yeah,
I was going to ask, you talked about people riding with you while wheeling. I've never had a bunch of people with me while wheeling. And since you can fit so many, does it change the characteristics of wheeling with people in it?
It depends. So we have had. I haven't really done big obstacles with a bunch of people in it. Put it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Because they get
it
out. They're like, I'm scared. I'm going to get out.
Yeah, I've wheeled it mostly alone. Or like with one of their dogs in the back has been in a lot, or like yeah, the Grace version of the Grace and Camo was in my passenger seat for one trip. I don't really notice anybody in the passenger seat or dog in the back. I did notice we had 5 people in it when we went to the pickle, and I did notice I went to 9, or I didn't go to like because I'll go to 8 pounds when I'm in San Paulo by myself in the
Okay.
tires, and I
And
only went.
you don't have bead locks?
No bead grips
Okay.
though. I have the
Oh, yeah,
method.
bead grip. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that helps a lot.
the cool method things, and and I only went to 10 when I knew I was going to have that many people in it. Oh, did you find it?
Yeah, so I click on it and it says invalid dynamic link.
Cool.
Oh, I
Did
don't
it
know.
work for
Maybe.
you, Charge and Confused? Oh, he said it worked for him.
Oh, well, that's good. It's probably just me.
I will text it to you
Okay.
when we're done. Yeah, just remind me.
I break electronics, so just
Sweet.
just so you know,
Sweet.
that's
Good
like
to
a
know.
talent of mine.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm not great with them either. I just my wife set the whole thing up. So that's the reason it's happening, is because my wife is helping me. I've been thinking about it for like 5 years. And I should have done it in 2025. I should have done it this year. Anniversary, 20 years. Like that's when I should have started it.
Yeah.
But hey, a year late's better than never, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
Hey,
I finally
you created the link and you did everything you needed to do
I started.
in 25, so that's
Yeah.
good enough for me.
Yeah, I started this year. So yeah, I mean it should be a good time. And like I said, I got to figure out how to make it fun for everybody. I don't expect everybody to come and wheel. The cool thing about Maris is that they've got a bunch of space, and they've got like really cool pavilions to like hold talks in and like do that. And so I'm like I need to work on that side of it too. And they're like guided trails and stuff. So they're gonna come out with their guides and guide us. And she's like, the lady was it was funny. She's like, some people get really upset when I tell them this, but I'm gonna tell you, uh, the guides will probably not be in excursions. And I was like, no,
No, come on.
no way. We can't have that. It's like of the other 0 excursions that I've wheeled with, I'm surprised none of them are from Texas.
So here's my idea on what you could possibly do.
Would love it. Love to hear it.
I think when you got the community together, you have a bunch of people who have done things to their excursion, either upgrades or fixes or whatever. I say you have a tent set up where someone brings their excursion and everyone who wants to helps them do whatever little mod or fix that they want to
Ooh, I
do.
like that. I
So,
like that.
you bring it there and you have someone help you fix.
You got to
Like
bring the
you said,
parts though. We're
yeah,
not
they bring the
providing
parts
parts.
and people just volunteer. They're like, yeah, I'll help you.
Yeah,
I think that'd be good.
That would be fun. Yeah, and like almost like walk around stuff going on all the time, right? Like individual where you could go and really look at what somebody has done to another one because I mean a lot of the times you don't know what you want to do and especially or you want to see a certain thing before you do it. And so like like when somebody did this to an excursion. Uh people like
Here,
there's
I'll show mine in comparison so you can see how
yeah,
much you chopped.
yeah, there's a lot of dudes that just stare at it in person. Yeah, yeah. So the gas door is on. I'm on the wrong side, but like the gas door is on the fender now on mine. So yeah,
There
not
you go.
funny.
So you go
Yeah, yeah. There's
quite a bit shorter.
the bob difference. 12 inches. 12 inches makes a little bit of a difference.
It does.
Essentially, your exhaust would be coming out under the bumper if it was bobbed.
Right. Yeah. Right at the end that's
Yeah.
the end of your vehicle
Yep.
right here.
Yep. And then I took 5 inches out with the bumper too because the bumper is huge on these. And
Huh.
I didn't realize that until I took it off. I was like, "Oh, that's not
But
going back on."
here, let's see if I can make it the same size. My tire looks tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, your tire looks like nothing. That's the problem. So like technically this is still your wheel well, I think. I think
Yeah,
this
that
is
looks the
still in your
same.
wheel well. Yeah. So,
Obviously, it's higher up because you chopped it.
yeah. Yeah, and actually it's not. So this is actually the factory the same lip that your top is.
Right.
So this is not cut.
But
Now it's gonna go bad, of course.
I'm back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it's like on the groove. I wish I had that groove still, but unfortunately, that like rounded piece you still have. That's what's gone from their trailer hitting it
Okay.
back.
Yeah. Yep. I see that.
So yeah, yeah. It's straight with the bottom of the barn doors. So is where it is.
Ah,
There it comes back.
Jeep.
Oh, charging confused. Am I running the same size brakes on the Excursion? So you have to remember. I don't know if you follow the channel Charging Confused, but uh, you had to remember this truck is coil swapped. So it's got 2005 axles on it, which they say the brakes are bigger. I took my tape measure out and I measured the calipers, and they are not any longer, hardly at all. And they're a little bit wider. The pistons and the calipers might be a little bit bigger. The brakes are a little bit bigger because a 16 doesn't fit anymore. It needs a 17 to fit over them. And they're that's one of my next things I need to work on actually is brakes. It's really hard to stop, and that's where the weight comes in. And I tell people all the time, I don't feel the weight. This is what the weight does. When you come down something steep, you can't stop. And it's not that it's not that it's sliding a lot of times either. It's literally that the brakes won't stop it. And so I need to I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've I'm thinking about I really like as much as some people hate these brakes, I really like them on my other truck. I put the power stops on my white truck and I'm really impressed with them. Uh and I'm kind of thinking of putting them on this one too and seeing if I can actually maybe lock these tires up quicker than like letting them slide and or letting them roll and then get to slide because of momentum. So I don't know. It's but the brakes are a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, some people say they're amazing. I'll be completely open with you. I hear this from it's like 50-50. So sometimes people put power stops on and they say they warped immediately. And then sometimes people put power stops on like me and are stoked about them. So I have no clue. I don't know what those guys that are warping them are doing for break in. I'm following power stops break in to the freaking T. because they have a different specific break-in process that you need to do. And I would imagine maybe if you didn't do them, they would get hotter. Have you ever run power straps?
I have not.
Okay.
I have the stock Dana 30, and then I had drum brakes in the rear until
Got
I
it.
did the swap. And so now I have disc brakes in the rear, but unless you change out your proportioning valve, your rear brakes don't do anything when you swap to discs. So as soon as you swap that out, like now I can lock up the rear brakes and
Nice.
they actually work.
Nice.
So I don't have an issue. I can lock up my 35s.
Yeah.
It's for me, I'm just sliding if I'm on my wheels are locked up and I'm sliding down something. So.
Yeah, see, like this has the weight that I think if I could get it slow enough, I don't know that it would slide every time. Now, obviously, it has the weight that'll make it slide too, but it has the weight that'll keep the traction on until the grade gets so bad that it can't do it. So I don't know. It's kind of an interesting, like, I don't know. Like I don't think I would go down, and I don't know if I ever want to do it anyway. High dive in Moab scares the crap out of me. I see way too many people flip there.
You're fine. You're super
I
long.
know,
You'll be good.
but
And you can always have a rope tied to the back.
yeah, and that might be like the first time it goes. But like Affordable Bender went down in his, extended cab that went over last year. And it was like, and it didn't look like he was on the complete wrong line. He was with a bunch of really experienced people. And so something happened that the truck went over. And that since I've seen that, it scared the crap out of me. I was like, man, I was thinking but I wouldn't go down it right now with the way the brakes are. I don't think I could get slow enough. I think it would bounce down it, and then it would have more of a problem. That
It could also be that his suspension unloaded.
is possible. Yeah,
And thrusted the rear up.
yeah. He's got
Um,
he's got it linked and everything like that. This is really like it's really predictable, and I mean this is the same setup as your XJ. So I'm coil in the
yeah,
front with a 4 link though versus the um like yours is like a 3 link.
radius arm.
Yeah, the radius arm type thing on your. Well, but on the XJ when they're long armed, because the upper two arms aren't attached to the frame at all, are they? To the body?
So if it's a 4-link, then yeah, it's actual 4 individual arms on the body. But
Yours,
I have a radius arm,
yeah, okay,
long arm.
yeah, that's what I
The
thought.
2 uppers are attached to the lower.
Yeah, yeah, and PMF makes a kit like that for the coil swap that essentially they call it a 3 link. Um, and I want to try it. I want to see because that doesn't have a ton of flex. The problem is down travel because the heavy rate springs like these don't extend as far. And
Yeah.
so I actually lose the spring. I have way more down travel than the spring will let me have. So I could go. I think I could go 2 more inches down on each side, which is a pretty significant thing. And I'm losing.
Yes, very.
Yeah, but I can right now when it's at full droop, I can grab the spring and move it. So
Yeah, see, I'm limited by my shock. So I probably need limit straps, but I don't drive fast where the axle is falling out. Like,
yeah,
I'm not jumping it, so it's not that big of a deal.
yeah, I would
But
lose my springs without limit straps.
yeah, I've gotten my spring 3/4 of the way out of the tower that comes down to hold it.
Yeah, and
And then my shock stops it.
so I've been thinking about building an upper that's similar to what the TJs have, which is what you have. That post that the spring can actually go up and down on the top, and then you just retain it
Yeah.
at the bottom. So, and if I built that, I could get that 2 inches. But
Yes.
the problem with that 2 inches is because it puts the axle down so much further, the tire's so much more turned, gets into my coil buckets, and it gets into the fenders way more. So I'm almost maxed out at what I can do at the height that I am.
Yeah.
And I think it just might end up living exactly where it is and just be okay with it. Just it's fine. Just know that there's 2 more inches in there and you just stop complaining.
I missed earlier. How many inches did you say it did on the RTI in the front?
So it's the CTI trailer, the Metal Club trailer. and it scored a 760, and I think it's so that means 18 inches in the front with the back also going on the opposite corner. So
Okay.
so it's 9 inches a side, essentially, is what that means.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done it where the front and the opposite rear are done like that.
Yeah.
But just lifting one tire, I think I got like 34 inches.
Yeah, so I think if you were to take and say that that might be the same math, I have no idea if it is. So you just add the corners together is this would be 37. So which is I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, and I've gotten longer shocks since I like measured it. So I don't know if that would help me or not. But I've also gotten a bigger tire,
Yeah, or it
which
would
also makes a difference.
say or it would hurt you because now you're bottoming out your longer shocks uh on up travel. Because that's the other side of it. So you have to find the perfect medium shock. And that's what so that's the other thing you should as you go to events, try and seek out the Metal Cloak trailer. So he'll be at Trail Hero this year. Another reason to come. But I kind of heard through the grapevine, and I just said that. It sounds like he'll be at Trail Hero this year. But that's why it's really cool because you can flex it out and then you can walk around and look, and it's both corners. So, and it's corner travel index between this. What is RTI? Is it ramp travel index?
Yeah, ramp.
Yeah. So the CTI trailer is corner travel index, and it puts both up opposite. And then you can walk around and look at and make sure your bump stops are doing what you want, keeping everything out of everything. Make sure your shocks aren't bottoming out before your bump stops are hitting, because that's another thing that people do all the time. And then on TJs and JKs, JKs and JLs, the way that Jeep put the shock mount on the top, when you have a lot of travel, it actually bends the bottom of the shock shaft when it drops down because of the way the axle shifts over. And so you have to actually put a relocation bracket on it so that you'll do that. And there's 2 of them sitting in my garage, and Grace and Camo are coming here in the next couple weeks, and we've got a bunch of work to do. We got redracing knuckles to put on the front of the Gladiator because it's got the aluminum knuckles on it, and we're gonna put. Hopefully, she bought affordable off-road ball joint deletes.
Oh, it's on the.
Oh, you're trusted and
So
everything.
yeah, I got to trust. I did these like short shock mounts.
Interesting.
So I have
Cool.
they were like 4 inches lower.
Uh-huh.
So I'm using a stock shock with 5 inches of lift.
Well, so I got the same.
It's a little dirty.
Here we are. I was going. So but you did it nicer. I should really just weld them in place.
There are you
I
bolted?
twist. Yeah, so I twisted the stock mounts when I put the rear axle in,
Okay.
and I rotated them up, and that's pretty much stock. I think it's a stock shock lengthwise. I can't remember. But yeah, so and it's not lifted, but it's shackle flipped. So this is still a factory spring on this truck without the overload, and it doesn't get into that bump stop, but it does touch that bump stop, and it's supposed to get into them the Metal Cloaks because they compress. So I need to make it a little longer, but it's fine. It doesn't rub that bad anymore. It's self-clearanced itself pretty well.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
And
it's done its job.
you can see my long arm setup, attaches at the cross member.
Single on the cross, yep.
Yeah, and then both arms.
Yeah, okay. Is that's Rough Country? Yeah, I think our buddy Pat, I think, has that same kit on his XJ.
I did Rough Country because
They make
of this bracket right here.
Yep, they make a really nice. Their arms and stuff are nice. Their springs are the problem, but their arms and everything are really nice.
Yeah, I haven't had too much. I mean, they just went with a stiffer spring rate. Yeah. And so people say, "Oh, it rides terrible," but it's probably more the shocks that of the old shocks.
You have are those Bilsteins or there's theirs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You would. Are you still there? It froze. Yeah, I hear you. You
What's that?
would be amazed at the difference going to a Skyjacker like that Black Max with a Skyjacker coil. You'd be like, "Holy crap!" Because I and I don't know when you go to put shocks in the Excursion, don't buy Bilsteins like everybody's. Well, I don't know. I guess you could. If you like it stiffer, then keep the Bilsteins. But if you like kind of a like for me off road, I want kind of a marshmallow, right? And
Yeah.
and the not that my white truck is a marshmallow with the Skyjackers on it. Well, the way I explain it to people is that the Bilsteins or a charged shock like that, they want to stop the motion from happening. And the Black Max or a non-charged shock like that wants to slow the motion. And so you are going from something that's trying to stop it to something that's just making it smooth. And
Right.
I cannot believe the difference on the leaf springs on that white truck with from the Bilsteins to the Skyjacker Black Maxes. It's like night and day, and I had no idea that not that it rides amazing, but like no idea that the shocks were affecting it that much. Because you figure leaf sprung, it doesn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like so. Yeah. What's
I opened my hood. You can see
yeah.
my.
Anything fun in there? Oh, your louvers.
Oh yeah. So I did those. I painted it.
Now I went away again. Charged and confused. I think that it handles better but again, I like a vehicle that feels a little bit like a marshmallow. So if you like a vehicle that feels stiff, a Bilstein's probably a better shock for you. So yeah, I haven't had a problem with it at all. So well, that engine bay is not bad either. It's pretty clean.
Yeah. I have like the new battery cables, the 0 gauge, and then I got heat soak, so I'm trying to get rid of it with heat wrap, and then I
Did you
got
do all the wrap and everything?
yeah, and then I also put my auxiliary fan on a switch so I can turn it on and off whenever I want.
Nice.
And I got, new water pump, thermostat housing, thermostat. And then I just swapped the power steering pump for a WJ power steering pump. Supposedly gives you a little more pressure. So, but other than that, it's stock. It's just all stock.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's sweet. Sorry, I was getting another emergency alert here.
Oh no.
There's a fire. There's a fire moving quick up over across the river, and I don't think that we have a big river, so I'm good. But it's just like it's a little nerve wracking when you've gotten two, and then this one is like get out now, or else you're going to be trapped.
Well, you've got an Excursion. You can make it across.
I'm fine. Yeah.
So we were talking the other day about these grills. Only the limited, you said, came with the color matched grill.
I don't know. I don't know what trim it was. I know in 2003. Because I know this because we had three Excursions, right? So my O1 is all chrome. And then the O2 we had was all chrome, bumper and grill. The O3 was painted, bumper and grill. And then in O4 they went to that front end, and I think that they stayed painted. And I don't know if the XLT still got painted or if it was just the limiteds.
Huh.
So
I kind of like this grill. That was a question on one of your last lives was which grill do you like?
Mhm.
And I kind of like this one. I don't know what it is about it, but
Yeah, and that one's it's a good. I mean, it's a good looking grill. The bummer, I think, and I said that the XLT was not painted. Interesting, Shane. Um, yeah, charged confused. Like I said, I think it's worth. Sorry, I think it's worth trying them. Like I said, if you don't like a like a softer, more wallowy ride, which I get that. If you like driving a race car type feeling, race car, I use that in a light term with Excursion, um, then you're not going to really love the Black Maxes. But if you want some more comfort, it's night and day comfort wise. The way that the Skyjackers handle, and I've towed with mine, no problem. So I don't know. People say needs all the things for towing. I don't know. It's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, my issue with that grill, and it's not an issue, is but more so like it's just a truck grill that's
Yeah,
painted.
yeah.
And maybe they didn't paint. Anybody know that's watching? There's a few people watching. Did they ever color match a Super Duty truck grill?
I've
Sh
never seen that.
I don't know if I ever have
It,
either. So
it's
maybe
always
that's
chromed.
yeah, so maybe that's and Shane's just saying right here that the XLT wasn't painted either. So it sounds like maybe the limited was painted, which I think is funny because um it would seem like chrome is more expensive than paint to me. Um
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's that plasticky chrome. It's not like real chrome.
yeah, no. Shane, yeah, that's a 6 liter that we're checking out here. So Shane, just coming on here. I know you're in here every week. Just so you know, this is Project XJ. He's been on hanging out with us the last couple weeks. He's got a YouTube channel, and he just recently bought an Excursion. So that is his. It's like it has 200,000 miles, and somebody put a brand new motor in it before they sold it.
Yeah, 222. On the way
Yeah,
home from buying it, I hit 222,222.2 miles. So I took a
nice,
picture of it.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty sick. I think yeah, and I think he did so good because he got a 6 liter, but he got a brand new 6 liter. And I mean, I think there's no other way to buy a 6 liter. Why not?
Well, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I
I
have a
mean, why?
question. So when I got it home, I realized that this bolt right down here at the bottom, right there, and the other one on the other side were just finger tight. Like, I think they took the front clip off. I think those are the bolts that hold the front of the
Probably.
Excursion on,
Yep.
and those were just finger tight. Like, so I tightened those up, but it hasn't fallen off. But I
That's
think that
fun
was proof that they
that
actually
they put the
did take
motor
the
in it.
motor.
Yeah, that would make sense because I think that's what
The other one I can't
is
see.
that what the header panel's bolted down? I don't see. I have a header panel up above my head, so I don't see. I don't know what that would bolt down.
But people always say, look down here. I don't know if I can get it to focus. That is a bolt, not a stud. So it's got the stock. Ah, here we go. Maybe. Yeah, that's a head bolt. So I know
Oh,
it hasn't been head
you
studded.
know it hasn't been studded. Yep. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I would have pulled the front end too. I think if I was doing it, I would pull that whole freaking thing. So
But everything else looks new. I mean, like this says remanufactured on it. So I know they like went through the motor and did everything.
yeah,
And I have the cool sticker.
yeah, and he has the cool sticker that says how much horsepower it has. They dyno tuned it.
Yeah.
No.
No, no.
No, but one
I was
can
surprised.
dream.
I was surprised. I changed the oil for the first time. You know, I put in 15.5 quarts.
Yeah.
And so I went from the 5.4 that took, I don't know,
6.
7 quarts
Yeah.
to this 15.5. I'm like, whew.
That's that's why I don't want to dispose of it. Everybody's like, "What do you mean you take your vehicles to get oil changes? You do everything else yourself." I go, "Yeah, because I don't want to deal with the oil. It's cheaper to pay Jiffy Lube than for me to drive the freaking oil down to Napa or O'Reilly when I'm done. It's not
Yeah,
even worth it."
what oil do you use? Is there a specific one?
Nah, well, I shouldn't say that. My 7.3, this I don't care. This I do not. This literally has been changed at Jiffy Lube my entire time. I put Docs in it recently because they sent me some oil, and they said it burned less, and it might have maybe, not really.
Yeah.
It also likes Lucas Oil Stabilizer, the like high mileage stuff. It burns a lot less oil with that, so I put that in there every time. Uh, the other one has been basically Motorcraft oil its entire life,
Okay.
other than some randoms in between that I think was probably Rotella. But
Is that the synthetic blend?
no,
No, just regular
nope, just
dinosaur
regular oil,
oil. Yeah.
just dinosaur oil. Yep. No, everybody. Everybody and all their synthetic and crap, and I'm not for it. The 7.3 gets the oil dirty. You could start it, you could crank it, and it wouldn't fire, and all the oil will be black. Like it's that quick as to how quick it makes the oil dirty. And it's
Yeah.
like I don't understand. I'm sorry. Everybody wants this, and it's like I'm still gonna only go 35, 400, 4,000 miles on an oil change. Like I'm not gonna take, and that's why the truck is what it is. Like it's got 348,000 miles on it, and it's got injectors on it, just barely, 20,000 miles ago. So, so like that's why it is. I had our family mechanic growing up when I first started driving. I was so religious about it, and he was like, literally, I could take your oil and put it into some of these other guys' trucks because it is that much cleaner than what is coming out of theirs. Because
Right.
because I would literally drive down there at 3,500 miles, no, like, boom, time for an oil change for the first 10 years that I drove the truck, and it was like that before too. So, NA, what is up, man? Welcome to the live. We're sitting here with Project XJ, kind of just talking excursions and stuff. So, what did you put in the 6 liter? Did you put Rotella in it?
I got some Rotel. I didn't open that bottle. I put in like what is it, Dello, some
Okay.
Chevron Dello. I mean, it's full synthetic, 15W40, and I thought I'd try it out. It's the cheaper oil. You can like bulk buy it. Um, I mean, it takes almost 4 gallons, so you buy a 2.5 gallon thing, and you gotta
Yep.
use 2 bottles.
Yeah. No, I run that really cheap. When I run out of oil, I just walk into Walmart and buy a 12. What is it? $12 or $14 gallon. It's like the cheapest gallon of oil you can buy.
That's pretty
And
cheap.
yeah, I bought it in Missouri because somebody used all of my oil in a certain JKU. I won't name names, but it's yeah. So it was like whatever. The truck doesn't care. It's just gonna burn it anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It
I think
just-
I paid $57 for 12 quarts, so 3 gallons.
That's great.
So less than $20 a gallon.
Yeah, on that I don't know. I don't know enough about those to know if they are picky with oil, and I have no clue. I love Jam and Seat from Busted Knuckle. He's got the Toverlander excursion,
Yeah, yeah.
and he always does like joke videos on like
Oh yeah.
you're
That's
gonna
awesome.
you're gonna bust it with different like different weights and different, and I just love that because I'm like literally I don't think it cares at all. Like I think it needs oil. Like just
Yeah,
just put oil in it. And if you don't have oil, you're going to wipe things out. If you have oil, you're good.
you're probably good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at the owner's manual because I read the owner's manual for this, the
Sweet.
6.0, and it gives you like a
I would.
temperature range and like a duty range, like if you're towing heavy, not towing, or towing light.
Interesting.
So you can do 15W40 if you tow heavy, or if it ever gets above 90 degrees. And then if you never get above 90 and you're not towing heavy, you can run 10W30. And then you can run, I think it was like 5W30 if it like never gets above freezing. They want you
So
to
in the
run
winter,
5W30.
that's low for that. So this is 520, and I for some reason I thought people were in 1030 in them. And the first time I got the oil change, I put 1030 in it, and I didn't notice it then. But even with 520, this thing does not like the cold. It like the V10.
Yeah.
My 7.3 hates the cold too. Like but if you drive at night, yes. But if I start this thing in 20 degrees, it doesn't have oil pressure for minutes.
Oh, wow.
Like the gauge shows. I think the sender is probably bad because it doesn't sound like it doesn't have oil pressure.
Yeah.
But like the gauge and the light are just like, nope, not moving, not moving. It's just like, buddy, I know you have oil pressure. I can hear it. I would shut you off immediately if you didn't. So
Yeah. So
so
they say you never run a higher number of the first number or a lower number of the second number. So
Oh,
you can
interesting.
run, like, say it says 10W30. You can run a 5W30 because 5 is within the range that the
Yes, yeah.
motor sees. But if you go to 15 on the first number, then it's bad because it's
Yeah.
too thick. And
Yeah,
then
too
the
thick when it's
opposite
cold.
for the
Because the
yeah.
first number is the cold. And so I've heard of people wiping camshafts out on these in the cold. Somebody's told me about that. I can't remember who or what it was. But because they can't get oil. So anyway, I don't know. I'm back to 520. I ran the 1030 was like one trip, the way that this thing runs. That's it gets the oil changed and then it goes to Utah and then it comes back, sits here for 6 months and then gets the oil change, goes to Utah. And like that's just how it rolls. I changed the oil when we got back from Missouri because it was like we had driven 6,000 miles. I put 4 quarts in it, so on the trip. So I basically changed the oil on the trip.
Yeah, you
But
did.
yeah, but it was also like it's just time to change the oil, and then before the next trip, it'll be changed and it's good. so,
I
so
drive maybe like 1,000 miles a year. So I change my oil once a year, basically, at every 1,000 miles.
you
And I have
you actually changed it at that, huh? My Jeep has
yeah.
it's I changed the oil in March of last year, and it's driven like 1,300 miles since then, and I'm not changing the oil.
So if you use regular uh, conventional oil, the oil actually breaks down over time. Uh, so if you use synthetic, you don't have to change it like time wise as often.
Yeah,
Uh, but I'm like, I want it to run well, and I'm like, it's $18 for an oil change, so
yeah,
I might as well just do it.
yeah. No, I, yeah, I'm still driving the Jeep around. I don't know. It's a year. The oil's a year and a half old. It's fine. Who needs fresh oil? And it's conventional because if you run synthetic in a Jeep, it leaks. So
That's true. I don't have any leaks, which is amazing.
that's because you run conventional.
No,
no,
no, I run synthetic. Yeah,
in the Jeep,
yeah,
nice. It's pretty good for a
yeah,
4 liter.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's 28 years old.
You don't think anybody
No, no, no one's been in the motor.
went
Oh,
at
I'm
you? I
losing.
finally got the thing. That's number 3 for Chelan County amber stuff. It is it's windy right now, so this fire is moving. So that is wild. So all right, well, I think we should call it for the day. We unless somebody else comes in the comments and asks a really great question. Um, I want to end on things saying this. Go follow Project XJ. He is on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. He's got some great stuff. Really knowledgeable on XJ things, and he's gonna have excursion stuff, I bet, soon because he has a 6 liter, so he has to make videos on it.
I thought about it, and I'm like, man, I should be recording this, but I haven't yet. But I'm
Uh,
sure I will.
yeah, yeah. And then let's see, excursion event. There, if you don't know, I'm doing an excursion event. It's in the community tab on my YouTube. There's a link. You can fill out a form, give your email on there, and do all that. We have memberships on my channel. He doesn't have them yet. You need to go watch his videos so that he can get monetized. That's
Yes,
the biggest thing. Yeah, if you can do anything for Project XJ, go put his videos on a repeat playlist on a computer that you don't care about and just let him run because he needs the hours to get to that monetization. So help him out, help him do that. Um, the link is in the chat right now for the thing. James, thank you. We got excursions here. There's stuff happening. And yeah, it was fun to have somebody on. I appreciate you coming on, Caleb. Fun to have
yeah. Thanks
somebody
for having
in.
me.
I'm not just talking to myself today. Pretty exciting. So,
And I posted on my channel. It's hard to find, but if you post a picture of your vehicle, I don't care what it is. I just want to see what people drive. Um, I'll send you a sticker, so you can email me your address, and I'll email you a little Project XJ sticker.
Sweet. Did you start the community thing too, like I did? Is that what you were
I
talking about?
did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have that too. If you've got an Excursion, honestly, any vehicle, but if you have an Excursion, if you go into both of our community tabs, you can go to like, I don't even know how to do it. So go in there and click around and try and figure out, because there is a way that you guys can post to both of our YouTube channels so that we can see your vehicle and everybody else that follows us can see your vehicle. It is super cool. Yeah, Grayson
I
Camo
can
have
show you here. If you go to Geeks 4x4, you can go to Posts. If I can get my computer to work, and then it should be
Is there a way to do it? I've looked. I can't figure it
on
out.
my computer. On my phone, there's a up here. It says
Awesome, Charging Confused. He found it.
community.
Yeah, community. And then there's
Oh,
something.
maybe that's.
Is it only on the phone?
Yeah, because I'm not seeing it here. Let's maybe see more.
Huh.
There's your email address.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, on the phone, it's like right under subscribe. There's a community tab. You click on that,
Okay.
and then you can post, which I did from my phone.
Yeah, I've seen, there's a bunch of them now on my thing. I don't know how to comment back on them. Other people have commented back on them. That's awesome. I only know how to like them. So that's all I figured out so far. It's very confusing. And YouTube, if your, AI bots are listening, you need to figure out how to make that community thing work better because we can't figure it out and we're the creators. So
That's right. Yep.
make it happen. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. Appreciate Caleb. Go follow him. Go watch his videos. If you want to see this dumb truck, you can follow me and watch my videos. And
I watch all your videos. I watch the shorts.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. I apologize.
Good stuff. You got XJs on there too, so
There is XJs exist in my world. Yes,
that's right.
Grayson Camo have one.
Soon it'll be mine in your video.
That's great. I love that. Oh, I got to tell you the story on that one really quick. So that white one, I was going to tell you this. So have you ever seen the video of the XJ going over on the maze in San Hollow?
Was it the white one?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen that.
That's the one you just saw in that video.
Really?
Yep.
No way.
That guy is amazing with body work. He is. So
seriously.
Yes. So he fixed the whole front of that thing. That is the XJ. That is
okay.
That is the Jeep that went over, because I was during the dirt and drive, and that's when I met Jason Rhonda, and he went up that waterfall in the maze and came over. It hit the hood and then rolled back on its wheels, and that's the Jeep.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the most recent time it's been on its lid. It was on its lid before that too, but I didn't know Chase at that point. So yeah, and then he rolled his LJ a couple years ago. I love you, Chase, but we got to make fun of you for rolling stuff, man. So, yeah. All right, guys.
Well, I have no plans to roll mine.
Yeah. Don't let him drive yours. If you ever meet Chase, nope, you can't drive it.
You can look at it.
You can look. Don't drive it. Yeah. All right, man. Good talking to you. We will chat with you guys. Remember, I'm here every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. I missed it today a little bit, but you guys are all still here now, so that's great. And Charging Confused, thanks for hanging out. Grayson Camo, thanks for hanging out. James, thanks for loving my car. And we'll see you guys later. Bye, man.
See ya.